Hey there, it's Josiah.
And I'm Samantha.
We're with On Edge
Outfitters.
You like that? We did it together there.
Yes, so this is week 2 of building our clothing brand.
So we kind of worked on copywriting, and we figured out early on that it wasn't copywriting that we had to do, it was trademarking.
Before we go further, I feel like we do have to address the setting in which we are filming right now. We are at a very creepy picnic table by the woods. So it's really dark. We did bring a ring light, but I'm sure you can insert a little video clip. But it kind of goes with the vibe.
Yeah, we actually, the black background is kind of cool, and
yes. So
it's kind of fun actually filming out here at night.
So yes, like you said, we've been working on our trademark. We've also been working on our logo design, and also
she's been doing all the logo design, and she does everything that's like artistic. That's not my wheelhouse at all. So
yes,
just so we're clear, I'm not doing that. That's her.
I'm the visual director for the brand.
She does a good job too.
And then we've also kind of just been game planning for what we want our first drop to look like. So let's get into it.
Yeah. So I mentioned earlier trademarking versus copywriting. So copywriting is basically if you put anything out, if you did the work, then you automatically have copyright ownership of it. So did some Google search, figured out we need to do the trademarking. So all in all, trademarking costs $350. That was just for the name. You can trademark like slogans, certain designs. We just did the name for now, and that's On Edge Outfitters. That's what the channel name is.
Yeah, there's 2 approaches you could take. Like you said, you can do just the words themselves, which is what we did right now, because we don't really have a logo ironed out or anything, and
which she's working on now. And
we also really didn't know what to expect of the cost if we decided to use that approach right now. So we just kind of went with just the bare words, the idea. So then if later on we want to pursue like the specific logo and the context for the logo, like an example like Pepsi on a Pepsi bottle, then that's something we could look at in the future, pending if we actually get the approval for the trademark.
Right. So when you do the trademarking, it takes about 6 months for them to actually review your application.
Yeah, they suggested looking every 2 to 3 months just to see if you get any updates. So when you're deciding to do the trademark, the first thing that you're deciding is to either 1, do just the words, or 2, do the words but also the logo and the context of which it's associated. So like if we wanted to trademark the logo plus like show an example of how it would look maybe on a t-shirt or something. So after you pick that, which we already talked about, then you have to pick the basis on which you're filing that trademark. That's like the language that they use. And so the basis that we are filing based off of is intent to use.
Yeah, so intent to use. And just to keep it like less complicated, basically that's probably all we're going to trademark is just the name for now. And with that, like we can just start producing stuff.
Yeah,
it's really for the benefit of the seller to do all the trademarking, because then if somebody's using whatever, then you can take legal action if you need to.
But we did intent to use, obviously, because this is only week 2. We don't actually have a product yet. We
have 0.
Only on, we're still kind of on ground zero with the brand, so we don't actually have anything to trademark at the moment, just the idea that will eventually be the brand. And so the basic processes that we filed on intent to use. So then our application is processed. Eventually we will be given the notice of allowance, and that's what he was saying takes about 6 months to get. Once you get that, you have about another 6 months to actually start using that trademark. If in about a year from now we should have a product, but we don't, we would have to file for an extension if need be, but we should hope to not have to do that. Hopefully we'll actually be starting something.
Right, and by that point we would already complete the approval process, so that'd be all good to go. So it'd probably be pretty easy to do that, but we're trying to have our first drop be around a year from now anyways.
Yeah.
You want to talk about the scam that you ran into last week?
Yeah, so
that was kind of fucking weird.
Yeah, before we get into like what it was like actually picking the trademark items, one precaution it gave is that you are very susceptible to trademark scams. So I've already experienced that twice this week. We filed the application when? On what day, do you know?
It's like last Saturday.
Last Saturday. In the middle of the week, I got a text message. It was a trademark registration expert that was saying that he was reaching out regarding the classification of our logo. and that there was some specific information that we needed to provide in order to expedite the process and get the approval. So then it gave like a phone number to contact to proceed. And so the two indicators of a scam that I caught early on, well, really three. The first was that you included the sentence that, especially since another party is pursuing a similar mark. So it lends to that sense of urgency. And that sense of urgency is just like, textbook scam approach, making you feel like you can't think about what you're being asked. You just have to act on it now. And then also because we knew that the actual process of actually getting our application reviewed was going to take months. I knew if I'm not getting an email that's from a .gov email, he gets those emails too, likely it's a scam. And then I did end up getting a phone call as well from a man who said he was a trademark expert, and he basically was trying to say the same thing. And I told him on the phone, like, I know that this is a months-long process, and he tried to tell me that no, it's immediate. It's just the processing after the approval that takes months, and we know that's not correct. So just something to look out for. When I initially saw the text message, I was a little alarmed, and I did think maybe I should look into it further, but it just, I don't know. You just have to use your discretion. It was a scam.
Basically, if you get weird spammy text messages, unless you're getting an email from a US email address, like the ones that we're getting emails from right now is USPTO, and that's like the United States something in trademark office, basically. So just pay attention to emails that you're getting straight from the government.
Moving back to the actual registration process, one thing that we had to figure out while we were applying for the trademark was the class of items that you're trademarking. Basically, we had to list the specific products that we intend on selling, and those all fit into the same class. If you're intending to trademark items that are in different classes or are sort of outside of the already established classes, then that would be an additional cost. But for us, we're just trademarking clothes, things like hats, ski jackets, t-shirts. And so those all fall under the class of clothing. I think it's class 25. Then it was that standard $350 cost for us. If we wanted to get more creative and, I don't know, expand into other items, who knows, like bags or something, maybe those would be in a different class. Or
you'd have to pay for each class that you're going to sell, like outside of the main one that you decide to sell in. So if you elect other classes,
or since we want to make sporting clothes as part of our outdoor brand, if we wanted to venture into sporting equipment and we wanted to trademark that would likely fall under a different class, and then it would be an additional cost.
Right. Like if we put out a jacket, it's totally fine. If we decided to put out a tent, that'd be totally different. That wouldn't be viable under the class that we selected.
Yeah. So no one's saying that we won't maybe venture into those products in the future.
We're starting with clothing right now.
Success.
That's going to be a lot for us to do.
Yeah.
Especially for the designing that you're working on right now.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. And so that kind of goes into the last thing that we kind of were thinking about this week was plans for our actual first drop. Yes. So we know we have that general year timeline that we want to stick by. We thought that it would be nice to have some sort of piece that we could put out in the beginning of next winter season, so probably sometime in the fall. So we're thinking one outerwear item, maybe like a light to medium weight jacket, or like a waterproof shell jacket or something.
Yeah.
Something that might be more versatile to other seasons but can be used in the winter season as well.
Yeah, something that you can use throughout the fall as a rain jacket, but then you can also layer underneath it and have it as an outer layer type of thing.
Once we get that notice of allowance, which fingers crossed we do, we will let you know if we have any hiccups along the way.
Also so you can explore the government database, and you can look whatever name you're trying to trademark. You can kind of look through and see if it's available or not. So we did that before.
Yeah.
We had looked at a few different names and they were already taken. So this was just one of the ideas we had that we liked that wasn't taken. So be sure to do that research first. Like, just go do the government website for, trademarking, because that would suck if 6 months down the road they're like, oh, you can't use that. We've already done all the designs. So knock on wood, we should totally be fine.
Yeah. Also, this is totally jumping around, just so you know. When you're looking at the items that you want to list under your trademark, you can use what's called the Trademark ID manual.
Oh, yeah, you were looking through that.
Yeah, so that's where we were looking to actually get an idea of what kind of items we need to even be listing. Because when it prompted us to input that information, we don't know, so we think that just putting like outdoor wear is specific enough, but it's not. They're going to want more specific items to avoid any vagueness with your trademark, because your trademark has to be very specific.
So that's kind of what we worked on. She's still in the drawing phase. She's really like coming up with a lot of brainstorming ideas.
Yeah, we can pop some pictures up on the screen. So we're looking at that year timeline. Sometime in maybe like the fall is when we would love to like do our first drop. So we want to just come up with one good outerwear item to put out in preparation for that winter season. So the plan now is to try and have an item designed and ready to look at manufacturers by the end of this year. That's as far ahead as we're trying to think, to give us plenty of time to prepare for any hiccups along the way, going back and forth possibly with manufacturers about samples, maybe having to look at different manufacturers. We don't really know what that process is going to be like yet. So that's why we're planning, to try and start looking at getting in touch with manufacturers at the beginning of next year, to then try and get a drop at the end of next year.
Basically, we're giving ourselves a decent amount of time to work on this first drop, because contacting manufacturers can be a process, finding the right ones. There can be back and forth with designs. So we want to give ourselves time to get that one product, so that after that we can focus on maybe a few other products that take a little less research and less back and forth, t-shirts or something like that. Last week I posted the first YouTube video. It's got like 1 view, so
I think that one view is us.
Probably us. We have some random comment on there. I don't know if it's a bot or something. But
we have like 0 social media presence now, but we actually do have a TikTok and an Instagram.
We do have a TikTok and Instagram. We're really kind of focusing on the YouTube right now.
Yeah.
But I'm still trying to figure that whole thing out. The descriptions, thumbnails. This video, we'll try to do a thumbnail on it, and maybe working those kinks out. There's a little bit of learning curve to even just putting YouTube videos up too. So
maybe this is something we should clarify too. No,
maybe you should clarify it.
No, I don't know. I'm just thinking like, we're just wanting to do this to document and hold ourselves accountable, and maybe be a resource to others who go along this journey. I don't know if anybody's going to find a lot of values in these videos right now where we're at, but say in a year from now we're actually on the right track and we're doing good.
Yeah, for sure.
Then you can come back and you can see the beginning.
Yeah, for sure. All right, well, have a good week, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.